What exactly are the limits of hypnosis? Do we even know what they are? And can hypnosis help anyone do anything? Mike Mandel, Hypnosis Academy. This question came from some of our students. We had a variety of questions that all fit nicely under this topic of the limits of hypnosis. What are your thoughts?
Hypnosis has limits, but as Richard Bandler put it so well, co-founder of NLP, dealing with hypnosis or NLP, we don't know what the limits are. I mean, it's not like something like optics, which has been pretty well a closed science for 100 years. We don't know what the limits are. If you pretend there are no limits, you will run into them eventually. But we're reasonably sure that some things cannot be changed through hypnosis. At least you can follow the edict of do no harm. You won't make any condition worse, but you may not be able to fix things. So let's have a look at this.
We had one example where let's say a woman wants to have a baby naturally, wants to get pregnant, but she's well into menopause.
Right.
So is hypnosis, I have no objection to throwing hypnosis at it and seeing what happens.
But the middle of the bell curve for menopause is 52 years old. I mean, it's extremely unlikely.
Yeah, so I doubt you're going to reverse any shutting down of the natural ability to get pregnant in a woman with hypnosis. That said, could you use hypnosis to change mindset, to reframe, to offer more opportunities, to just set a situation where this woman can now have a better life in some other way? Maybe she can adopt. Maybe there's surrogates. There's all kinds of things that can happen, even if the hypnosis itself can't suddenly make it possible for her to get pregnant.
Right, because the higher principle here is quality of life. And having a baby might be part of that quality of life for her. But the bottom line is, if we can improve quality of life, a lot of things sort of get better on their own. We have to recognize some things can't be changed. Like Chris said about you can't regrow limbs. You can't tell someone they can fly and they suddenly fly like a 747 because they're hypnotized. I mean, this stuff is nonsensical. But menopause, I said, might be slowed down, the progress of it. It might be managed with less stress and fewer mood swings, fewer hot flashes. But as far as enabling the person to actually have a child, I would say that's pretty unlikely. Remember, though, the unconscious runs hormones as well. So you can change much of what's going on in the person's body. What about someone asked about fixing an inguinal hernia with hypnosis. Now, remember, too, an inguinal hernia is a massive physical assault, affront. My friend Jay, as you know, was at a
gym
class and was asked to do a deadlift. And he's in his 50s. He's 60 now. And no, pull harder, lift harder. This 22-year-old fitness instructor caused him to blow out an inguinal hernia 7 inches long.
Which is, so it's a rip in the musculature.
Yes, it's a rip in the abdominal wall, or a weakening. So the internal organs, like the intestines, are starting to spill into this rip. It can become strangulated and kill you. It's not a fun thing. And people can be prone to inguinal hernias. If they get one side, the chance of getting one on the other side is very likely. It needs surgical intervention. You could use hypnosis to manage the pain from it.
That's a great point. So hypnosis is not going to suddenly cause those organs to go back in the body and the muscles to heal. You need surgery.
Right.
But you could use hypnosis to reduce the pain and speed up the healing.
And to learn the lesson so they don't blow out the other side.
And to be more, let's say, calibrating yourself for the risks of it happening again on the other side.
But you can do things that are startling. You know, my niece, Dr. Michelle Bodner, was a doula and a naturopath. She worked with a woman. The woman was about to give birth, and the baby had the umbilical cord around its neck.
Right.
And she had hypnotized the mother previously, put the woman back into trance, spoke to the baby through the mother, and asked the baby to untangle itself. And it happened.
Interestingly, inside of the Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy, we had a report of something just like that within the last couple of weeks.
Wow.
A client went to one of our members and had a situation like this, and the baby turned through hypnosis.
Like directly responding to it.
I mean, you could say it's a post hoc fallacy. We did the hypnosis, the baby turned. It was going to happen anyway.
Post hoc ergo propter hoc, yeah. But
sometimes these things happen.
And that you're not going to do any harm by attempting this. I don't think if anyone was dealing with a baby that was experiencing strangulation in the womb, they'd say, oh, no, it probably won't work. You know, anybody, you'd be throwing whatever you could at it.
I want to come back very quickly just to this idea of metaphors.
Yeah.
With the woman who wanted to get pregnant, a mindscaping session was done and imagined a particular, I won't describe it just to respect the privacy, but there was a particular map that was elicited with certain features that resembled a certain natural environment, like something that was not so alive, now suddenly looking thriving and vibrant. That's what changed in the mindscape. And so that's interesting, but it didn't change the fact that the woman still could not get pregnant. And I thought this is a ripe opportunity to simply throw out in another session something like, and what else could that mean, right? People will attach meaning to it.
Sure.
And so that could simply mean, oh, my life can be full in other ways, or whatever it means to them. But if you presuppose that there is a meaning, and the meaning is different than the one that they maybe ascribed to it originally, what else could that mean? It's only possible. You're not forcing it upon them, but they will often accept it in the presence of rapport.
And changing any metaphor is going to change their response. If someone says that, their arthritic pain feels like a firestorm, you can hypnotize them and have it change. It's still hot, but it's changed to the feeling of a cozy fireplace.
Yeah.
Now, going from a firestorm, Hiroshima, to a cozy fireplace is a good shift in metaphor, and it permits them to maintain that feeling instead of attempting to get rid of it completely so they're not damaging themselves. Let's summarize this, Chris.
Yes.
With instead of hitting dead ends by attempting to change the unchangeable, we recommend you learn to work with what the client presents to you and focus on improving the quality of their life. Your subject should always leave your presence feeling better, happier, more integrated, more healthy, etc.
I think that's great advice. And on that, we will end this video. Go to MikeMandelHypnosis.com. You can check out the Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy. It's free to get started. Certification is included. Practice rooms are included. It's awesome. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks once again, and good night.